Good morning and thank you very much for joining us. I am Yori Folarin. Let's look at security today, and our guest this morning is Dr. Sani Abdullahi Shinkafi. Dr. Shinkafi is a security consultant, executive director, Patriots for the Advancement of Peace and Social Development. Good morning to you, Dr. Shinkafi.
Good morning, Yori.
Thank you very much for making time for us this morning. Of course, the highlight of the news of the security news this morning is that ECOWAS has activated a standby force to tackle terrorism. There are a number of issues, but I understand that shortly ECOWAS was talking about a 5,000-man African force to sort of take up gaps in security that might have occurred, especially unintended ones, following the withdrawal of Mali, Burkina Faso, and Niger from ECOWAS. Can we talk about that? Because I noticed, Dr. Shinkafi, before we go ahead, that the Committee of Heads of State of ECOWAS have said that in spite of all, in spite of all that has happened following from the withdrawal, ECOWAS doors must remain open to not just the people of Mali, Burkina Faso, and Niger to re-enter. Their rights of free movement and to settle should be unimpeded. Would you like to comment generally to start with?
Yeah, you see, let me make some preamble.
Sure.
ECOWAS state is a combination of West African countries which are being colonized by British and the French. And they come together to form an economic community of West African states in 1975. Niger, Mali, and Burkina Faso, from the initial stage of formation of ECOWAS, were full-time members of ECOWAS. So it's a really disheartening, or looking at the higher land mass of Mali. When you remove Nigeria, Mali is the second largest country in the West Africa sub-region. So it is also a serious gap in terms of formation of this formation of standby forces. And going by also African standby forces, ECOWAS standby forces is an integral part of African standby forces in line with the United Nations chapter 15, chapter 8 of United Nations Charter. So it's in line with this that ECOWAS also is integral part of African standby forces. So going by the meeting of the Chief of Defense Staff of West African sub-region to reactivate standby forces is long overdue, but there is serious challenge at hand following the withdrawal of Mali, Burkina Faso, and Niger Republic. The challenge is, let me give you a simple explanation.
Sure.
Niger Republic share border with Borno State, share border with Jigawa State, share border with Katsina State, share border with Yobe State, share border with Zamfara State, share border with Kebbi State, share border with Katsina State, share border with Jigawa State. So the pulling out of Niger Republic and you looking at the reactivation of standby forces, there's still a lot of ongoing space where the security or joint task force may not have some meaningful effect or impact. Because if the Niger Republic refuse to deploy their forces or their securities to this neighboring border state, then it will give a lot of gap because of the porosity of the border. In Nigeria, we have more than 1,300 illegal routes. And only 90 routes, border point, entry point. We have more than 1,300 illegal entry point. And only 90 entry point were legal, which are being monitored by immigration services and other security agencies. So that gives also room for proliferation of smaller and lighter arms and smuggling of hard drugs, and also illegal immigrant coming into Nigeria without any valid documents. So these are some of the consequences of not having Niger on board and Mali on board. And Mali share also border with Ghana, with Togo, with Cote d'Ivoire, Guinea-Bissau, Guinea-Conakry, and Mauritius. So that also will give inflow of ISIS, Boko Haram, Lakura, and others. Because if I can take you back, Lakura originated from Mali. You understand? So this is some of the great danger. And what are the dynamics for deployment of this standby forces? Because going by the United Nations Charter and also going by also the formation of standby forces is a combination of military, police, and civilian component. But looking at the meeting going on in Abuja, it is only Chief of Defense Staff of ECOWAS who are in attendance. Where are the police chiefs in this ECOWAS state? Where are some of component of the civilian component of the formation of standby forces, ECOWAS standby forces? Because looking at what happened in Gambia, in Liberia, in Mali, in Burkina Faso, these are some of the duties or functions of these standby forces when there is any regional crisis or security challenges or overthrow of government. Then these standby forces will now be deployed to a particular state. In Liberia, standby forces were deployed from 1990 to 1997 to curtail the security or the political turmoil in Liberia.
Okay, well, thank you very much for that overview, Dr. Shinkafi. But as you point out, this was the what is going on right now is the 43rd ordinary meeting of ECOWAS Committee of Chiefs of Defense Staff. It's going on in Abuja now, and you just queried there are other components. I wonder if the Chief of Defense Staff for each country, because this was a meeting, you know, so named for them, Committee of Chiefs of Defense Staff in Abuja. I wonder if those people are not, you know, under that particular category, but they will be fully briefed by the Chief of Defense Staff of each country. There must have been some thought into, you know, who would attend the ongoing meeting. But you are pointing out that there is a bit more to defense of our environment than just the Chief of Defense Staff can handle. Is that what you are saying? But is it different from being briefed?
What I'm saying, you know, the meeting, as you have highlighted now, is the meeting of the Chief of Defense Staffs on the west, in the ECOWAS state or in the
That's right.
ECOWAS sub-region, or in the Sahel sub-region. So, having said that, going by also how the formation of the integral parts of formation of ECOWAS standby forces, police, military, and other civilian components are part and parcel of ECOWAS standby forces. That is the reason for formation, the composition, because the civilian component are some who are the medical staff and other health workers and welfare staffs, those who are taking care of some other things in the camp. So these are some of it, what I'm trying to highlight.
Okay.
But I'm starting to be corrected, since the meeting is not for this component, it's only for the Chief of Defense Staff. but still they have a lot of eminence work at hand.
Okay.
With the following, with the withdrawal of Niger Republic and Burkina Faso and Mali, looking at the neighborhood of Niger and Nigeria Republic and Nigeria.
Okay. Well, thank you very much, Dr. Shinkafi, also for pointing out the number of countries that Niger, for instance, has borders with. That's why Nigerians, quite frankly, they, as you know, they have families, they have relatives between their country and Nigerian states. You just listed them. A lot of people are settled there. And that the Committee of Heads of State of the body has said that in spite of their withdrawing along with Mali and Burkina Faso, in spite of their withdrawing, the doors of ECOWAS must remain open to them. They're still trying to appeal to them to come back into the fold. So far, things haven't been positive, but the sheer number of states with which Niger, for instance, shares borders, not many people would have known that. And also the detail, because I was going to ask you how this might work, this reactivation of this, what is it now, standby force. But you've just explained that where there's a crisis, the force might be deployed to move in that direction. And that might not be efficient given the numbers. But we can't just fold our arms and do nothing. But the point you are making, if I got you right, was that it remains to be seen how effective this will be given the quest it has, which is to stem terrorism. Is that the point you're making?
The point I'm making, with the widespread of insecurity in Katsina State, Sokoto State, also in Zamfara State, and even in Yobe State and Borno State, where all they share border with the Niger Republic. So in the absence of membership of Niger as members of ECOWAS state, it will leave a lot of gap, and also it will have some negative effect in the deployment of these ECOWAS standby forces. Because the ECOWAS standby forces is a combination of these forces, from all the membership countries of West African state, except Cameroon, which is not a member of the ECOWAS from the beginning of the formation. So, looking at the higher rate of armed banditry, insecurity, proliferation of smaller and lighter arms into the land border between land border of Niger Republic and Nigeria, then it is going to be a serious gap, because when the reason for formation of ECOWAS is for economic and political and even peace and security within the region. But now these three countries have pulled out, and their pulling out will significantly affect the deployment of this ECOWAS standby forces. Whether we'll take it or leave it, that is the truth of the matter.
What do you think, is it something of a paradox that in spite of the situation such as you have described, the heads of state, the Committee of Heads of State, have directed that not only will the doors remain open in case there's a change of heart by the three countries that withdrew, which includes, of course, our closest neighbor, Niger, in spite of that, their rights to free movement and indeed settlement must not be affected. Would you comment on that? How does that work? Because of what you've just said, but still the citizens can come and go as they wish, in line with how things were before all of this, present situation.
Yeah, you see, in Niger, if you are going to enter Niger Republic, you can use two of Nigerian passport. You can use either the ECOWAS passport or CDAO passport. That ECOWAS passport, there is pre-entry and pre-movement within the 90 days in all the West African sub-region. Also the green passport, which we call international passport, you can also use it to also get entry into Niger Republic or other West African state. But with the present situation of falling out of Niger from ECOWAS state, all the Nigerians are not allowed entry into Niger Republic with ECOWAS passport, that blue passport, ECOWAS passport. But you will be granted entry with the green passport as international passport, and they will give you visa waiver. But for you to have entry access with the ECOWAS passport, they have rejected it, and unless and until if you go through the illegal route, that is the illegal border. But if you are going to go into the legal border, then all Nigerians going to Niger Republic are restricted from getting entry into Niger Republic with ECOWAS passport.
Okay. Yeah.
It is there for about 3 months up to today. There is such restriction. But if you are carrying a green passport, then they will grant you a visa waiver, but you are going to pay some certain fees for you to be allowed to have entry into the Niger border. But still some neighboring state, Zamfara state, Sokoto state, Kebbi state, even Katsina state, you know, Niger and this state I have been mentioning are like one family. That's
exactly.
And also, yeah, and they share the same culture and tradition.
In fact, let it be said, these people have, in many instances, have actually intermarried. They have relatives on both sides of the border, on both sides of the official border. So it's really a challenge, and it's most unfortunate that on January 29th, 2025, the decision was made to pull out of the formation. But ECOWAS is leaving its doors open and is still, I understand, working to persuade them to change their mind at this late date. It's like ECOWAS does not want to broker that, does not want to brook the fact that these people are gone. That's not the way we're looking at it. They're not gone. I think ECOWAS is still looking at them as members, even if they have pulled out. The possibility that they can be persuaded to reconsider still exists.
Yeah, you see, it is very difficult for anybody to break up the relationship between the Niger Republic and Nigeria, most especially in the northern part of the state, in the northern state, most especially northwest and northeast. So they are one family, and there is one traditional institute in Sokoto state they call Sarkin Gobir. Even in Niger Republic, in Madawa, they have Sarkin Gobir of Madawa. So we share the same culture, the same religion, the same tradition, and we intermarry. You understand? Looking at even far back, the history of Usman Danfodio of Sokoto Caliphate is also, he migrated from Niger Republic to Nigeria, and he started residing in Sabon Birni, which is the headquarters of the Gobir Emirate, Gobir Empire.
Okay.
And that Gobir Empire was in existence for over 700 years. They have a very good historical background for over 700 years. And before, later, Osman Danfodio now migrated to Sokoto, where he now established Sokoto Caliphate.
All right.
So looking at that historical background for over 700 years, then it means that even the history of Danfodio was even traced back to even Mali Mali, that is Punta Jalo and Funta Toro.
All right then. Okay, our first caller has come in. Good morning to you, Mr. George. Thank you for calling in.
Good morning, Uncle Yori, and good morning to the doctor.
Yes.
Uncle Yori,
good morning. How are you, my brother?
To form a military outfit for ECOWAS is a step in the right direction. I think a 5,000 member team is just for a start. Members will have to contribute more to the number so as to become strong in defense of the borders and cases like intrusions that you were talking about. Another thing I would like to suggest to ECOWAS is that they should not give these three countries the impression that they are missing them and without them, ECOWAS cannot exist. It's the leaders among them who want to perpetuate a military rule in those countries that will be enjoying that one. They should know that military rule has been fashioned in the world, and Africa or West Africa cannot be an exemption. They are dragging the world back, and that should not be permitted. When you keep making them look as if without them ECOWAS cannot do, how would they know that the military rule that they are perpetuating, how would they know that it is wrong and it's no longer fashionable? Let ECOWAS come to terms with doing without these three countries as a way of telling others who may want to conduct or who may want to go military in their administration that it is not allowed. Heavens will not fall. If they try anything, this military force that is being organized, we check them. And I commend ECOWAS for that move. That's my view.
All right then. Well, thank you very much, Mr. George, calling in from Lagos. Dr. Shinkafi, what do you think of that point of view? That is not the point of view of the Committee of Heads of State of ECOWAS. In fact, as he has said and complained about, that might they not go and get the impression that they cannot be done without? And is that the right kind of question? Whether or not they can be done without? Yeah,
you see, the membership of the ECOWAS is not obligatory or is not by force. Looking at the Cameroon, is also West African state, and they decided not to be part of the membership of ECOWAS. Partially, even Libya is part of West African state and decided not to be part of ECOWAS. So it's not by compulsion, it is by interest for anybody to belong to an association, because look, we have to look at these three countries. It's a sovereign state. They gain their independence from their colonial master. Likewise, the way Nigeria gained independence from British colony. So to belong to a membership of ECOWAS is not by compulsion, it's not obligatory, and it's not by force. It's by the will of these states, because these states are sovereign states and are not under any colonization or any force of imperialism by other members of the state. So I agree with the ECOWAS state, leaving the door open for Mali, Burkina Faso and Niger to come back at their own will. But if they decided not to come back, I think it has no any much serious consequences. But we are looking only at the economic and political and the security challenges we are having, most especially in the northwestern region and the northeast region. So that is why you see most of these states are appealing to this Niger Republic, most especially Niger Republic. Our Nigerians are not so bothered with Mali or Burkina Faso, but they are more bothered with the Niger Republic because of the long-standing relationship which was established for over 7 or 8 centuries. That is only the psychological and emotional feelings of the people of the Northwest and the Northeast that Niger should come back and belong to the ECOWAS countries. That is it. But it is not under compulsion.
No.
It is not by force. These West African countries that form this ECOWAS state, it's like a union of mainly British and French countries which were colonized by these imperial masters. That's it.
Now,
and that's true of the matter. But
okay.
because of the porosity of the border in Niger Republic with the Nigerian states, and that is why we want them to come back. Exactly. Because the fight against armed banditry, terrorism of this Lakurawa, ISIS, Boko Haram, and the armed bandit cannot be achieved effectively and efficiently without Niger Republic being in this ECOWAS standby process.
And that is probably...
When you look at the formation of this ECOWAS standby process, how many numbers of personnel this country will also deploy? What is the financial commitment? Because if a Nigerian military or army is being paid allowances of 1,500, just last week or last 2 weeks, it was increased to 3,000. Then deploying somebody in a deep forest or in a deep Sahara, looking at also the devaluation of Nigerian currency, you deploy somebody to, let's say to where they have this SEPA, let's say Benin Republic or Togo. How can he giving him money in Naira? How will he sustain himself in the fight against this crime and criminality in this state, looking at the devaluation of our currency?
Okay. All right. I'll tell you what, Dr.
So that
Oshinka.
should be a serious financial commitment
okay.
from all the members of the states.
We'll take a break now, Dr. Abdullahi Shikafi. We'll take a break. We'll be right back. Do please stay with us. And just before we go, can I just say once more that you can also pick us up, receive us, that is, on our YouTube channel, in addition to the reception available to diaspora viewers. Stay with us. Welcome back. Our guest is Dr. Sani Abdullahi Shinkafi, Security Consultant, Executive Director of Patriots for the Advancement of Peace and Social Development. And we're looking at, implications of the ongoing 43rd Ordinary Meeting of ECOWAS Committee of Chiefs of Defense Staff in Abuja. There are a number of issues, of course, significant among which is that Mali, Burkina Faso, and Niger have withdrawn their membership, and the body has said that the doors remain open and that they hope that they will reconsider. But this force that is being activated now, the standby force, possibly up to 5,000 strong. How is it going to maintain? And Dr. Shinkafi was on that because at this particular meeting, it is the meeting will also be considering pledges for the ECOWAS standby force and things like the rotation of officers among them. So money, we're coming to money now because you were pointing out that it's going to cost something more than a little. And this is also, number one, they want to look at the pledges, review them, and this is quite a serious aspect of this whole operation. And never mind the niceties of we want our brothers in Mali to, reconsider, same thing with the other countries as well. But just given the wide expanse of, shall we say, border, sharing between Nigeria and these countries, it's a real task on our hands, and beyond just the name, just for it to just be seen that we are doing something, it does appear that there's a real challenge on our hands here as a result of the pulling out of those three countries. Mali, for instance, I don't know if it will feel obligated to protect Nigeria by moving their people, moving their forces to the borders to thwart terrorists. How is all of that going to work?
You see, Nigeria share border with the 4 countries. Nigeria share border with Benin Republic, with Niger Republic, with Chad Republic, with Cameroon also. And out of these 4 countries, 17 states in Nigeria share border with these 4 countries. Akwa Ibom share border with Cameroon Republic, with Cameroon. And the Cameroon is not a member also of ECOWAS state. Taraba State share boundary with Cameroon. Benue State share boundary with Cameroon through the land and the sea border. Also, Borno State share border with Cameroon and Chad and Niger. You see, Borno State share border with Cameroon, share border with Chad, share border with Niger Republic. So Yobe State share border with Niger Republic, Katsina State share border with Niger Republic, Jigawa State share border with Niger Republic, Sokoto share border with Niger Republic, Kebbi State share border with Benin and Niger Republic. Sokoto equally even share border with Benin and Niger Republic. Then also Zamfara State share border with Niger Republic. Niger State share border with Benin Republic. Ogun State share border with the Benin Republic. Lagos share border with the Benin Republic and Togo Republic. Yeah, and then also Oyo State share border with Benin Republic. So these states, 17 states, share border with these 4 countries, which also are our neighboring state. So if the ECOWAS standby forces in all will now bring off a total numbers of 5,000 security or ECOWAS standby forces to fight this crime and criminality, looking at the size of the porosity of the border, looking at the landmass in the West African state, is so minimal. 5,000 is so minimal. It cannot make a lot of significant impact in the fight against terrorism, armed banditry, cattle stealing, proliferation of smaller and lighter arms, and illegal smuggling of hard drugs. So these forces are too minimal. So these ECOWAS states, looking at the fooling out of Niger Republic, then it is not going to be very effective, and the fight against armed banditry, insecurity, terrorism. Looking at now, let me give you an example of Borno State. It is share border with the 3 West African states. So this, if Cameroon is not part of ECOWAS standby forces, what Cameroon will only do is to protect their territorial integrity. They have no business with ECOWAS standby forces. And then also, in the Niger Republic, they only have to mind their border. They don't have anything to do with Nigeria border or also ECOWAS standby forces. Then Chad is a membership of ECOWAS state, and they have no full out. So Chad may not be enough to curtail this fight against insecurity around that Borno State border. This is one of the implications. It's very minimal. And looking at also the financial cost, what is the commitment of these membership states?
This is what they will be doing. Are they
going to be contributing funds? Are they going to be contributing funds on quarterly basis, on monthly basis, on annual basis, or after on 6 months? Because most of this joint operation, always they may have a good intention of doing it, but the implementation will be so scanty.
Well, Dr. Shinkafi, these are among issues that are being discussed at this ordinary meeting, 43rd ordinary meeting of ECOWAS Committee of Chiefs of Defense Staff. These points, these very important points that you brought out, since they themselves are talking about reviewing the pledges, maybe even deciding for an increment in those pledges, But you are pointing out that historically, it's all right to meet at these conferences and talk about these things as a talk shop, but the implementation has somehow, you know, hasn't lived up to the billings of the actual discussions. That's the point that you're making, that we will return, where they will come back from this meeting that is going on, and governments, for various reasons, might be, I don't want to use the word foot dragging, but shall I say priorities will differ, and so governments in these countries might not come across adequately. And that leads us back to the question, so what do we do? There is a clear and present danger as a result of the withdrawal of Mali, Burkina Faso, and Niger. There's a clear and present danger, no doubt about it. But it does seem like, against the backdrop of your analysis, that 5,000 is nothing, really, when it comes to the extent of the work, the expanse of the theaters, potential theaters. So what do we do? What are your thoughts on what can be done? Because this whole 43rd Ordinary Meeting, I understand from reading reports, is to sort of mitigate or stem the unintended consequences of the withdrawal of these sister countries of ours.
Yeah, you see, the membership of the ECOWAS countries is 15 to 16, and now for Niger Republic to pull out, to withdraw, and Mali and Burkina Faso living at the 12 or 13 states. So living at the 13 states, let's assume the remaining 13 states will deploy 500 security personnel. That will put on the total of 6,500. 6,500, looking at the land mass, the vast land mass of Niger Republic and Mali and even Burkina Faso. Mali, as I have said earlier, share border with Mauritius, share border with Algeria, share border with Guinea-Conakry, Guinea-Bissau, with Togo, with Ghana. Then also share border with Cape Verde. Then also looking at also, what do you call it, Burkina, share border with Senegal, share border with Niger, share border with Mali, so they have share border with all these neighboring countries, and there is higher land mass. I have said it earlier that when you remove Mali is the second largest West African state with the population, with the land mass. So if they have withdrew, leaving the neighboring countries border open, or leaving the neighboring countries without any support in the fight against this terrorism, because Mali has a lot of terrorists, and they have also a lot of insecurity challenges, including Burkina Faso and Niger Republic. So for them to pull out, we either take it or leave it. There's a lot of serious backwardness in the fight against insecurity in the ECOWAS sub-region or in the Gulf of Guinea. So now, on the issue of the deployment, 500 personnel per the remaining membership state will not make any significant effect. Looking at the widespread of insecurity, most especially, let me give you an illustration of Zamfara, Sokoto, Kebbi, Katsina, what do you call it? Yes, Sokoto, Kebbi, Katsina, or even part of Jigawa. If you now deploy like 500 standby forces, what impact will those do? What impact? So what we need there should be an also advance in technology. There should be a constant logistic supply. They should be highly motivated. They should be staffed and well equipped with the highest technological support by using artificial intelligence, using drones and other jet fighters. But that is the only way, because we have to now deviate from conventional fight against insecurity to go to advanced technology. Without advanced technology, we cannot achieve any meaningful effect on the fight against this terrorism. The ECOWAS state should find a way of deploying technology by using satellite to mine these borders, illegal routes.
Okay, so go the way of science and technology, the modern age. This has to be emphasized. But there are cost implications. And
that
as you know,
the more emphasis now they should give, because the human, what do you call it? The deployment of the personnel may not have, will not have a very wide coverage on this fight against insecurity.
Not unless we can, as you said, even if they were to contribute, for example, 500 personnel each, it still doesn't add up to very much. And every country has
if they can put 500, they can come to the total of 6,500 of the remaining membership states.
So, well, you've also said that in the past, going by what has been happening in the past, we have these conferences, a lot of research, information, intelligence, no doubt will be shared there. But now, as you said, moving back at the end of the conferences, moving back to how it is that these security forces work together, it isn't always operating at the best, meaning that the gaps are still there. And by the way, when they talk about the unintended effects of the withdrawal of these countries, I don't know what that would be. What do you understand that to mean? Unintended effects.
Can you come back again?
I say when, when we're talking about the unintended effects of the withdrawal of the three countries that we're talking about, Mali, Burkina Faso, and Niger, what exactly is meant by, in militaristic terms, about the unintended effects? We always knew it was not good news.
You see, the unintended, the unintended effect, looking at, let me give you the scenario of all these three countries. These three countries toppled the democratically elected government. And the ECOWAS membership state, going by the ECOWAS treaty, which they have signed in 1970,